And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to have a look at Anne Widdecombe, the woman herself. Yes, this is another video about Anne, because I'll be honest, at the moment she seems like the only Conservative left breathing. Am I wrong on this? This article that she's written is titled, "Britain is no longer the land of liberty if Boris makes us lock down snitches," Anne Widdecombe said. "Heaven help us, we are now encouraged to be a nation of snitches, sneaks and quasi-Stasi." Now before I go on, I do have a bias towards Anne. I do like Anne. She's one of the few MPs that still shows logic over and facts over feelings, which in my book puts her head and shoulders above most. But let's continue with the article, shall we? See what she's saying. "So far has Boris departed from his land of liberty that ministers are now actively urging people to report groups of 7 in their neighbours' gardens and proudly proclaiming they would do so themselves. Snitches. Presumably Boris thinks the boys in blue have nothing better to do than rush out to investigate the allegations of busybodies and nosy parkers." Go on, Anne. "No thefts, burglaries, assaults, rapes or murders, or even raves, and really serious breaches of lurgy laws. Just how much sillier can this whole saga get? Another lockdown will tip the economy into a black hole from which it is unlikely to recover for years to come." Which is exactly what we on the internet have been saying right from day one, isn't it, everyone? "And our children and our children's children will be saddled with the debts of the government's panic." You see what I mean about Anne? She just talks logic, doesn't she? I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with Anne on everything, but I'm not a firm believer in having to believe in everything that someone talks or you don't like them. Everybody has a difference of opinion in my book, and everyone should be celebrated for having a difference of opinion. But that seems to be being ripped away from us, doesn't it? And Anne seems to be one of the last few bastions of conservatism. Figures over the weekend showed Sweden, which has had no universal lockdown, to have the lowest number of deaths in the last 14 days and the lowest number of daily cases per million residents, which is another thing that we on the internet have been saying from the very start. Not from day one, because we didn't know at that point, but we had suspicions when they refused to actually lock down and went for herd immunity. A lot of people on the internet were actually saying that's probably going to be the thing that actually saves them, and it turned out to be that. So yeah, Boris, listen to the internet, we know what we're talking about. As long ago as March the 18th, I wrote in this column that with 9 out of 10 lurgy deaths occurring in those with underlying health conditions, and that was before ministers were classifying obesity as such a condition, the logic pointed to locking down the unhealthy and the very frail aged and telling the rest of us that it was our duty to keep the economy and volunteer effort going. Hear, hear in regards to that, and I think that was perfect, and we should have listened to it right at the very beginning. There are signs that ministers are now looking at that, with talk of everybody over 50 being awarded a personal risk score. Good, but I raised another issue in a previous column which I've never seen answered. Of those who have died without any underlying health condition, what is the breakdown in age? What is the proof that healthy septuagenarians are substantially more at risk than healthy quintagenarians? Now both of those are brand new words to me. I've never heard of those before, but I have gone and researched them and found out what they mean for you, just in case you're the same as me. So a septuagenarian is a person who is 70 years old, between 70 and 80, and a quintagenarian is a person over 50 years old, up to 60. So in that regard, it's a very factful question, isn't it? We do need to know, out of the people that have passed unfortunately from this virus, it would be beneficial for everybody to know exactly why, would it not? Which is exactly what she said there. Now, what's my opinion on this? I think Anne always talks sense. Whether I agree with her or not is beside the point. She always seems to do her utmost to be honest and to talk as much fact as she possibly can. So when Anne actually says something, normally 9 times out of 10 I actually believe her. She's also said as well, in regards to the military getting involved, that it would be an absolute disgrace, but it probably won't happen. And she said the reason why is martial law is when the military takes over the entire country, not just does policing. But the way that policing works means that only the police can police. The military can't do it. So if they were brought in, it would be primarily paperwork, office work only, not front facing, not fighting the people or anything like that. But anyway, let me know what your opinion is, everyone, on this one. Do you believe Anne? Do you think this is absolutely ridiculous? I actually think that Boris should start actually listening to Anne, because she seems to at least not open her mouth unless she's got something good to say. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, share it out, everyone. Fight the madness, and I'll see you on the next one.